It's New Year's, chill. It's so great to be a part of this blissful New Year's of 2010. And I'm not doing anything significantly wonderful right now, but I have done a bit of art and banana bread. But the whole night up to now, I've been calling it banana cake, which kind of like rolls off the tongue because of Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson. And I have this relationship with my computer that's not really working out. It's kind of like an addiction problem, but it's like a love-hate relationship. I can't really figure out. I think we need to go through therapy. Seriously. And I found my CD, the one that I supposedly had, or supposed to like, it was actually mine when I left the house at 18. And my stepmom decided to claim it after, I don't know, maybe a couple of days. She put her name and her last name that my dad gave her. It's like an insult. That was my last name before it was hers. And plus on top of it, it's my CD. And guess what even burns even more? She has the CD. She has the case in her room. I don't understand it. I seriously don't. But she can be such a selfish whore. I just don't get it. I don't understand women like that. It's like, I found some gloves on the floor the other day. They were pure silk inside and pure leather on the outside. And she didn't know that. I just found them on the floor, and she's like, well, maybe they were meant for you. And I was like, I don't know, should we leave it? And she's like, no. And so I actually like tried them on, and they were perfect because I have size 6.5 fingers, I guess. So I tried them on, totally fit, and taking the seat out. So they fit, and I told her they were pure silk, and all of a sudden her personality changed. She's like, give them to me now. And she just like turned into this like bitch at like, I don't know, some famous like Sex Fifth Avenue kind of bitch, you know? Just like totally just dominated her. She's just like, I mean, if she growled, I wouldn't have been surprised. That's how bitchy she was. And so I passed it over to her. I knew it wasn't going to fit. I mean, her hands are bigger than mine. I mean, one, because she's like 20 pounds more than me. I mean, on the Bible, I swear to God, I think that's true. If it's not, well, I don't really care. But, she totally wanted it, and I didn't give it to her. Well, actually, I did. I guess I did give it to her. She tried one of them on. She stretched it out. It was a real problem because, well, it wasn't that big of a problem. I mean, I still wear them, but one of them is a little bigger now than the other. And I'm thinking of how to shrink it. And, like, my eyes have been burning like hell. I think it's either cigarettes or I have to get new contacts. Probably both. So that's why my eyes are like all fucked up right now. And I haven't done any drugs. Just I've like drank a lot tonight. Well, not like a lot. I mean, I'm drunk, but I could fake being sober. I'm just not trying to hide any of myself for any of you guys. So this goes with Dido. Is it Dido or Dido? I don't really know. At least it's not dodo. That would suck, like a dodo bird. And, yeah, it's been, like, a crazy, like, New Year's so far. I mean, it's 12:44, but since it's not, 2010 in the U.S. yet, I don't really count it for myself for it being, because I'm American, so I mean, I know this sounds really stupid, the logic behind this, but I figure if I was born American time, then for me, it's not New Year's until, like, 4 more hours. I think that's fair. I think that's right. I think it's totally right. Look at this. This is New York. It's not New York. This is, European euros. It's like 2 of them in 1 coin. And there's this, like, freaky tree on the back. as a RF. I don't even know what it stands for. It says Liberty Gelati Fraternity. I think that's Latin, or it could be Italian. I'm not exactly sure. And just like uploading a bunch of old CDs for my iPod because I don't know. I don't really like buying iTunes because I think it's a waste of money, A, and B, I think it's unfair to the artists because, I mean, if so many people are just buying one song, then instead of buying the CD, you lose a lot of money. So I'm just taking CDs that we already bought and putting on my iPod. And yeah, I got an iPod this year. It's like so totally different from the last one. This is a shuffle from like, I don't know, like 3 years ago. And the one I got this year, this is the Nano Shuffle. And look how pretty this looks. I mean, it even has like a mirror on the back. I mean, all it's missing is like a lipstick that will pop out. And then all of a sudden I'll have like the perfect woman gift for myself. But it's almost too pretty, you know. I almost feel like it's like nicer looking than me, you know. I mean, maybe that's where we're going with the products. I have no idea. But personally wish it was an MP3 player because I like listening to the radio. But I don't really care. I got my hair done. It's now like brown, of course. It's not like that weird hag yellow that it was. I don't look like an old lady supposedly now. I look younger. So my stepmom said I look younger. I'm not sure if I want to look way too much younger because I still get carded for cigarettes. And I had like a nervous breakdown earlier. I was like crying like crazy. Called my mom, bad idea. It didn't make me feel better at all. But yeah, it's like true, you know, like I watch a lot of Chris Crocker videos. And he always says like, you know, be your own best friend, which is totally true, you know. You really do have to be your own best friend. I mean, God really does come into play a lot of different ways in people's lives and stuff, but you really have to like tell yourself to like pull it together. I mean, it's just this last year has been total hell. I mean, I've been through so much this last year. And like the year before that, well, the half of the year. And like, so this year was just like bringing myself out of last year. So this next year will be even better because it's not like reminiscing on the past, which the past was pretty bad. And I'm just hoping it gets better. I mean, I've been doing like a lot of art and stuff, but I'm hoping it like all pays off. If it doesn't, you know, I mean, someone will eventually enjoy it. I mean, if I was to die, like, right now, I mean, my art would go on. That's how I look at it. I mean, I can't look at it as, like, my life's a waste, because if I look at it that way, then it's just, like, it's fucking depressing. I mean, because, like, earlier I was, like, sad because, like, I felt like I wasn't going to go do anything back in California. And I wasn't leaving anything behind. I mean, I have nothing here and nothing in California to want. So basically, I'm free to do whatever I want. But at the same time, it's like a scary position because it's like you don't really know what you're living for. And then, like, I'm 22, you know, I should have this, like, down by now, but I totally don't. I have, like, a vision of what I want to do, but it's like getting there is, like, the hardest thing. And I feel like maybe if I just break all the rules and like, what I mean by that, by breaking the rules, I mean like, you know, not listening to my parents or like other people are trying to give me advice and just doing what I feel is gonna help me out personally. Because I read this quote once that said that if you constantly do everything that your parents tell you to do, then you're gonna end up blaming them for your life, which I totally believe is true because my mom does it. My dad doesn't do it so much because, like, he's always, I think, done what he's wanted to do, and it's worked out for him. But for my mom, she feels like she got the short end of the stick with that, so I'm totally feeling it right now. But, I don't know, I've been breaking out like crazy. Self-esteem has been kind of low. But, you know, like, what's to be expected? I mean, I'm a female girl. I'm in my 20s. I mean, like, this crap is normal. I just wish it was more publicized how normal this is. I mean, if you find one 20-year-old that actually, like, knows where their life is going, I'll be, like, so happy. I mean, other than, like, people who actually have careers or something like that written in stone. But me, on the other hand, I'm just kind of living moment to moment, dream by dream kind of thing, not really, like, thinking too much on, like, the next thing, but more of, like, in the now. But it's weird, too, because, like, as being an artist, I have to think of, like, the past and, like, the future and, like, forget the now to be able to do the art and stuff. Because if I just constantly thought of the now, then I wouldn't be able to do good art. Or at least that's how I feel. But I do know that in, like, 5 years I'll be a millionaire. I just know that. I mean, like, document it if you want, but it's totally gonna happen. I just gotta think of, like, the proper way. I think the internet has totally, like, scammed a lot of people from getting the amount of money and stuff that they actually need for the products that they have. It's like a cheap worker, you know, it, like, constantly works, like, 24/7, and my eyes are burning like crazy, so sorry about the eye rolling. And yeah, it's just been, like, totally crazy, and I just want this next year to be a normal one. I mean, that's really all I want. I mean, I don't really have a New Year's resolution. I just want my year to be normal. It hasn't really been normal this year. It's been fucking crazy as hell. All these things have happened to me, and I'm just tired of it. I just want a normal life. I just want, you know, like, normal, steady, like, paycheck. You know, I don't want to, like, worry about shit anymore. I mean, money causes so much stress. It's just fucking insane. And then I feel like even if I had it, I still would be stressed out about something. I mean, so it's like, I don't really get why people, like, totally forgot about it, but we do. And so I'm gonna take out my contacts. They're, like, bothering the hell out of me. I'm not really opening my eyes, and I'll, like, end up, like, collapsing, and then the camera will be on the floor. And I've done that before, and that was actually really funny. I was out with my friend, and we were supposed to have fun with this guy, and cause she was my best friend, I actually have done this more than once in my life, and these are two different best friends that I did it with at different times. Like, there was, like, only a year in separation, but this one time we were having a fun time with this guy, and he was more interested in her than me, so I was just, like, the third person. And I was like, okay, you know, we can have a threesome as long as you get me drunk enough. So I was, like, I think 19, maybe 18. And I was like, alright, you know, get me drunk and I'll do whatever. Well, not, like, whatever, but just, like, you know, I'll be the third person as long as you get me drunk. I told him no kissing and no oral sex, because it's just too personal, you know. And he actually, like, came into my work a couple days later with, like, bare feet and, like, asking for my phone number. It was kind of like a Flintstones kind of rendition of Sex and the City. It was so weird. But, and then my boss was joking about it. She's 21. She's like, oh, yeah, Nova, you know how to pick 'em. And I was like, just like, yeah, you know. But anyway, where I was going with that is I drank so much before they came over, because at that time I seriously was an alcoholic. Like, I just drank all day, every day. And now I'm just a New Year's person. But anyway, so I kept drinking and I passed out on the floor, like, naked. Shaved but naked. Seriously, butt naked. I mean, not that I was only naked, but I was, like, seriously naked. shaved, you know? So, I mean, it just looks weird, but you know what I mean. Just, like, totally, just no hair to, like, cover the pissoir, you know what I mean? So it was really embarrassing because I was, like, passed on the floor, but there's nothing I could have done about it. And, so the door was locked, I guess on the front door was locked, and so they came in through the window, and she went straight to the bed and walked over me, and he came over and checked my pulse to make sure I was still alive, and she just didn't care. But you know, I always seem to have like a best friend like that. It just really just doesn't give a shit. And he said, okay, she has a pulse, just checking, and then they were fucking, and then a little bit later, like, and I only know this because they told me about it, but, so a little bit later, I joined in, and then he was, like, favoring me over her, and then it was a little weird, because I was just there to add, like, entertainment for it. I mean, I wanted to like add to their relationship even though they didn't have one yet. Like, you know, an actual relationship, not just fucking. And he wouldn't allow me to just be the third person. It's probably one of the reasons I had such a hard time being a stripper, because I would get too attached and I just, you know. They would say I was like too sweet or something, or too real, or like do something stupid and try to make people laugh on stage. I mean, like when you're butt naked on, I mean, maybe it's buck naked, but when you're naked on stage, it's not really like the smartest idea to like try to make everyone laugh while you're naked. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, this one time they punked me out. My hair was all crazy and I was like, I don't know, 100 pounds literally. I was like, doing oxys and meth at the same time, which wasn't exactly a smart idea. I was drinking a lot and smoking weed a lot, so it was kind of little, and doing Xannies and also Somas and just like whatever pill I could get, and this other one I can't remember the name of. It's like a muscle relaxer or something. And so I was on stage and I decided to dance to Sammy's Heaven. And I'm like wearing like this punker gear, like hard rock, like they did my makeup. Close to goth, but like not quite, like still kind of cute. But seriously, I looked like badass, and that's totally opposite of my character, but I looked good. Like, I actually asked him for my picture. I mean, I looked that good, but I was, like, up there and dancing to Heaven while dressed out like I was gonna dance to, like, Marilyn Manson, which they had me dance a lot to. Nothing against him, it's just, it's not really, like, sexy, you know? It's hard to be sexy when you're dancing to that. And, so I was up there and I was dancing to Sammy and just everybody started laughing and I started laughing because I thought it was funny too. It's like, baby, you're all that I want, lying there in my arms, funny and hard to believe we're in heaven. And then I'm just like there, you know, like totally just punked out, like I'm gonna be like, rah, rah, brah, brah, brah. And I'm just like, love is all that I need. And I'm standing there in your eye. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. And I just laughed. And then, see, what I was trying to do is, because I was doing so many drugs at once, I seriously was becoming a little crazy. And I never knew you're not really supposed to do an upper and a downer at the same time. It's just like something you're supposed to know, but I just didn't care. I just wanted to. Oh, it wasn't even an L word, it was Vicodin. I was trying Vicodin too. And I just like was doing all that, and I wasn't eating and I wasn't sleeping, and so like you put all that together and you like literally go crazy. I mean, I wasn't like crazy, like mean. I wasn't sleeping. I mean, like you black like in and out, and you feel like all you want to do, like when you're that like fucked up, all you want to do is just be in a dark room, and you just want everybody to leave you alone. You just want, you know, just like nobody to bother you. Like you don't want to die, you just want like peace. And then like also when you're that low, when you're that skinny, you don't care if you die. You're just like whatever, you know, as long as, you know, I'm still like I feel good. That's all I care about. So, I mean, everybody knew what was up. I mean, they were calling me like crack-headed pixie and stuff, which I thought was cute. And then as soon as they knew that I actually thought that was an attractive name, they changed it to Pyro. Pyromaniac or something like that. Because I kept on like smoking my cigarette. I smoked like a pack a day or like a pack every 2 days. I was smoking a lot. I didn't make that much money there, but I think it's because there were like 80 girls per shift. And then there'd only be like 3 guys in there. Can't imagine what it's like now, but I have thought of going back. But the problem is I have a lot of scars and stuff, which also is kind of a problem because when you're dancing on stage, you know, there's the black light, kind of covers a lot of stuff. But at the same time, like, it's just bothersome because, I mean, guys look at it and they're like, oh, you know, what's that? But it's just, I had impetigo when I was younger, and I like broke out like all over my body, and then like when it left, instead of like leaving my skin normally, it's like chicken pox. It just like left it I left it scarred, so that's what happened. I don't have like hepatitis or like herpes or anything like that. It's just impetigo, and it broke out and just left me with scars. And like I've thought of getting like tattoos to cover it, because I'm actually really self-conscious of it. Because when I was a kid, I used to have perfect skin. Now it's just like totally looks like someone took like cigarettes, just burned it on my body. But there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, so that's why I thought of getting tattoos over them, like hearts, or I don't know, that'd look weird. Or just something so it doesn't look so trashy or like hoary or slutty. I mean, the girls when I first started when I was 18 teased me, and they're like, I don't know what she has on her butt, but I don't want to get it. And, you know, like tease me about stuff like that. But I totally I try to like cover it with makeup or something. It's just hard with the scar because, you know, like they say like scars will fade, but sometimes they don't. And it's not scars that are bothersome, you know, like sometimes you could be proud of a scar because it like saved your life, like Elizabeth Taylor's tracheotomy kind of thing. That kind of thing like totally makes sense. But when it comes to like stuff like I don't know, just having like scars on your body and like the emotional mess that goes with it, like why do you have these, you know, and then like making you feel like you're a less than because you do have that. I mean, I'm lucky it's just like small things and it's not big things. I mean, like burn victims and stuff, like that's just, I don't know how they do it. Or like that chimpanzee woman, or was it an ape? I can't remember, but like mauled out her face. I just couldn't deal with that. I don't know how I would deal with something like that. And so, like, I do feel blessed because God's done a lot for me. But it's hard living in this day and era because it's totally not something anybody could have prepared for. It's not it's not anything we've ever been through. It's not a decade. It's not like, can't refer to it as the 80s or the 70s or 60s or 90s or something like that. It's totally something we all haven't been through. And I think it's an even harder time because we're in a generation that totally dismisses our older peers, our older seniors. We totally don't care what they think about stuff, and that's totally what's going to save us, is listening to our peers, not our peers, but our seniors, the seniority of the wise generation. We totally dismiss what they think on things, and it's totally going to burn us in the end. I mean, it's really sad. I mean, they have so much to offer us, and it's like we think that we're better than them or something, and it's just really difficult because you never know, where things are going unless you acknowledge people who have been through it, So it's like blind leading the blind, and then the worst part about it is the older generation is actually trying to be like the younger generation, because it's not Hollywood's fault, but just that's what's put out there. The younger, better model is better than the older one. But really, I like older cars better than newer cars. I'm not a guy, but, plastic surgery can kiss my ass. I'm never gonna get a boob reduction or a boob job or a nose job. I'm not, a lot of days I dislike my nose, but at the same time, I'm proud of it because, I'm Greek and Italian, so, the nose thing is, normal. It's just the way my nose is. I got it from my dad and, my grandma, so, I can't be, totally upset about it because it's something you should be proud of. You should be proud of your hereditary genes. For instance, black people, they have, the best hair ever. When I was a kid, I used to be jealous of that. You can braid your hair and stay for a while. And, I used to braid my hair in cornrows myself because I actually was jealous of, my friends who were black, because so it's the coolest thing, the way it feels, just everything about it's awesome. But even the black culture feels bad about who they are. I know that, I don't really care how it sounds, but they do. They try to fit in so much that they, straighten their hair out. Maybe they like it better that way. I don't know. But it's you should be proud of who you are and the way you are. If you're fat, so be it. You're curvy. If you're skinny, then awesome. But, don't be mad at yourself. You are the way you are. You can try to change it, but really, as long as you're happy with yourself, more people would be happy with you being happy with yourself. More of happiness has to do with you being happy with yourself. And I know it's really hard to get there because it's been very few times where I've actually been there and I've actually been happy with myself. But really, when you're happy with yourself, you just know that everything is going to be okay. And everybody feels like everything's going to be okay for you because they feel like you have the confidence in yourself to make yourself happy, and then they don't have to try to make you happy, because if other people are constantly trying to make you happy, then they have a hard time making themselves happy, and they feel like they're constantly giving out, and then when they give out, they feel like you're using them or something. So it's really important and you can't find happiness for yourself within yourself. That's the biggest, trick and lie ever. People who say that, all you need to do is spend some time with yourself to make yourself happy is a load of shit. We need each other. We need God. And, we need to have a source of a relationship with a divine power, which God is the only one. I'm sorry, but that really is the only one. And I mean, Jesus even better, you know, it's having that relationship that helps you understand more fully, you know, where your life is going, and like a better grasp on reality, and just understanding that, you know, things aren't your fault, and, you know, you can't change the world. The world, you know, like John Mayer's right. At first, when John Mayer came out with the song Waiting on the World to Change, I was really pissed off. I mean, I listened to a couple songs. I was like, oh, I like it. I was singing to it. And then I was like, I mean, I wasn't pissed off at him. I was just upset with the idea that we're waiting for the world to change and we can't change it ourselves. But then again, you know, it is correct. But also in the same token, it's also like Michael Jackson's song, you know, starting with the man in the mirror. I mean, that really is all you can do, is change yourself and hope for the best. So anyways, I'm going to end this saying Happy New Year's. Hope everything just continues to get better for everyone, and more positive thinking, more positive music, more positive just lives. I hope that more people are benefited by positivity than negativity, because negativity has been taking too much of its toll on our nation, on just people in general in the world, and it just needs to stop. It's been like hatred is just, it eats away the soul, it eats away, you know, heart, or anything that has to do with love. And really what it comes down to is love is like the divine nature of everything. It's the heart of everything. I mean, love for music, everybody loves music. I mean, if you find one person that doesn't love music, they love some sort of music. I mean, even if it just comes to the ringing of their telephone song, I mean, they love music. I mean, I can't imagine a world without music. And music is praise, and yes, it's been distorted in many different ways, but you gotta go back to the fact that, you know, love is, God is love. So then, therefore, love is God, you know. You have to know that everything is gonna be alright, even when it feels like it's not going to be, and can't rely on things that are like non-existent. You know, you gotta focus on things that are more grasping, more of a template of innocence, only something that God can provide. You can't find it from any person or thing. It's not something that you know, just blooms overnight. Seriously, it's a relationship with God, and I feel like that's the only thing that really has kept me alive this long, because so many times I've been through like suicide. I've tried 5 times to end my life. 5 times. 5 fucking times. Like 3 times for overdoses, 2 times for just being stupid, but it was all just being stupid. But just to have that, you know, and constantly being denied several times, and then finally by the 5th time I was like, okay, God, I get it. Obviously you want me alive for some reason. I don't understand it, you know. And my mom always tells me, you know, everyone is alive for like a purpose, you know, everybody has a purpose, and I do believe that. I do believe that everybody has a purpose. Sometimes it's really hard to believe that, you know, like you wake up every day and you feel like, you know, but then it also comes down to you know, the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Just him like being around there, how many lives were benefited by him just being there, him just being his brother's brother, and him just being his boss's worker. I mean, it's just, it comes down to that, of how much of an importance you have. Maybe just your smile, you know, brightens somebody's day to keep them going. Or I don't want to get all poetic, but it's just, there's so much importance that goes behind every person's individual life. You can't you can't base your life on something that you only see from your own perspective. Because, like, I'll be talking to my brother Fletch, and I'll be like, oh, Fletch, I really, I feel sometimes like I'm weird. I just feel like I'm weird. And I don't know if it's just because of high school, I was constantly, like, the person who's just, like, didn't fit in and stuff, which is probably, like, fed into, it's probably part of it. And I asked my brother, and I was like, Fletch, am I weird? And he's like, Nova. He's like, you're not weird. I was like, I'm sorry, Fletch, just sometimes I feel like I'm weird. And he's like, Nova, he's like, you're the only one that feels like you're weird. So, just knowing that, like, that I'm, like, it just your self-perspective of things can totally distort everything. I mean, if you don't, isolation is like such, it's like basically the root of like a lot of problems of today. I mean, seriously, if people would realize that more people are going through the same things that they are going through, then they wouldn't be going through that. If they would just realize that, they're not the only person that have like family problems, which, that's an obvious given, but, or like, it feels like, suicidal or just thinking about whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter what it is. Just like feeling like you're the only one with something can totally like make you feel disabled or handicapped, like you don't feel like you belong, so you separate yourself. And it's just like animals, the weakling or the sickling separates itself, and then pretty soon the wolves get it. It's the same thing in life. You can't, or it dies, when it leaves the herd. So you gotta think of, constantly like being social is like really important. Being around people, expressing how you feel, in a positive way, in a good way, not like, being abrupt or like being violent, or like if you're sad, just like having like hysteria and just like crying, or like really happy and laughing all the time. I guess that's okay, but just having like a healthy way of like dealing with things, and expressing how you feel and not suppressing it. I mean, like, you go through so much, and sometimes you can't always find advice from your parents or your peers. Sometimes it's more of like, actually like hands-on going through it that helps you. But really, like, it's just important to realize how important your life really is, and how it does benefit people, and how you're not the only one who goes through problems, and you're not the only one that feels lonely or feels abandoned, or feels like they need to be needed and they feel like they're not wanted. It really has to do with just realizing that people do care. I mean, even if it's just a person like singing on the bus every day, like people even like that, just seeing like the image of someone else, and it really goes to show you how much, of value and worth a person's life is. So just keeping that in mind of being positive and knowing that your life is going somewhere is awesome. So just best wishes to everybody, and I hope everything turns out for everyone. And I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm like super tired. Gotta get out of this. Turn it off, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Oh my god. Maybe I can say this. Watch it tomorrow. That's so sucky. They like stop it every 3 minutes. I doubt it's live. I totally can't stay for the ball. I can't stay up for the ball. Oh, dude. That'd be the coolest, most sickest thing. I'm gonna make a movie, or like a short film, about Cinderella, and the ball she's going through to is actually the ball being dropped. That'd be crazy. Awesome. Or maybe it will be a short film with caricatures, I don't know. But just like totally like taking the context and twisting it a little bit. It'll be awesome. And I'll collaborate with Gaga, maybe, in like a couple of years. Oh gosh, I just want to be well-rounded if I do eventually get out, but I don't know what God has in store for me. But what I do know is I need to get to bed before my hangover kicks in and I just decide to collapse on the floor. I'll just leave the note to myself there. Fletcher will understand. And I'm just recording myself to, if I do fall down, I'll just see how I fall. I'm still curious how that happens. Look how messy this room is. It was clean 24 hours ago. Oh, that's another thing. You can always tell how I am emotionally with my room. If my room looks like that, I'm going through some shit. I'm like upset about something, or I'm on the verge of a cry spell. Like if my room is neat, then I'm happy, I've got it together, you know, I'm not stressed out. But if there's a bunch of shit on the floor, on my bed, and it's like all claustrophobic, then either there's a party, which most likely not, or I'm just, most of the time it's just me being totally emotional about stuff and feeling a little bit of like just feeling like shit, basically. And then like another thing, which this probably happens with a lot of people too, if I'm also really feeling like crap, I'll just wear the same thing every day. Just like change the jacket. I do that a lot. I don't know why I do it, but it's like just not caring. Look at my beautiful art. It says Love Impact. And then I did it this way too, so I got two sides. If I get bored with one side, I just switch it over. It says Lipstick Stained Kiss. And this over to the right side is a lipstick, but it doesn't look like a lipstick. It looks kind of shitty. But that's the other side, which I like this side better. And I did all the sides. I did this with orange and blue. And this is like more Cat in the Hat kind of thing. And this is orange and blue, the Cat in the Hat thing. This is the same thing on both sides and then up and down. I could have done it all the way around, but I thought this looked more chic. So, anyway, I'm going to leave this mess down here because I can. Because nobody's going to yell at me for like 24 hours. And here's the most lovely, lovely cake. It didn't turn out well because I did half of what it was supposed to be and it turned out like that. And they're probably going to bitch at me tomorrow about how messy it is. Well, they can kiss my ass. I got that on the floor, but I got to take out the trash when I get up. But they won't get here until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon probably. And Fletcher won't come over until like 11 or 12. I highly doubt it he comes over before that. And if he's locked out, oh well, you know, he can take it. But me, I'm a girl and I'm alone in a foreign country, so this baby's being locked. No rapage is happening tonight. That's happened to me twice. I don't want it to happen again. That was all my fault. So, wine is going in here. I should actually probably clean. If I don't, maybe I should just put this over here. I'll clean tomorrow. Seriously,